Is this the end? So many things changed in the last days. So did I.
Stepping into the world of Splatter Zombiecalypse now feels like uncovering a dusty, blood-stained VHS tape in the back of a rental store that you just know is going to be better than anything currently playing at the local cinema. Because this game is a masterclass in atmospheric focus and visceral feedback that many high-budget titles completely fail to capture. It starts with that thick, suffocating neo-noir atmosphere where the rain never seems to stop, and the only colors that truly pop against the grayscale despair are the neon flickers of dying signs and the bright arterial spray of the undead, immediately grounding you in the weary shoes of Max, who is less of a superhero and more of a man just trying to survive the next 5 minutes with his cynical wit intact. The brilliance of the game mechanics really begins with the flashlight, because in this universe, light isn't just a way to see what's coming, but is a physical, tactical barrier that the photophobic infected genuinely fear, creating a unique psychological layer to the combat, where you aren't just aiming at heads, but are constantly sweeping your beam like a lighthouse to keep the swarming masses at bay. There is this incredible tension in the way the monsters hiss and recoil when caught in your light, allowing you to manipulate their movement and herd them into kill zones, which transforms the standard twin-stick shooting into a frantic, high-stakes dance of spatial management and resource conservation. You find yourself obsessively looking for flares or breakable lights in the environment, because you know that a single dark corner is a death sentence, and the way the game rewards this environmental awareness makes every victory feel earned through a mix of sharp reflexes and genuine tactical thought. When the shooting actually starts, the physics engine takes center stage in a way that puts modern shooters to shame, because nearly every object in the game world reacts to the chaos. From wooden fences that splinter into 1,000 pieces under shotgun fire, to cars that explode and send debris flying into the horde, creating a level of environmental reactivity that makes the world feel fragile and dangerous.
The weapon progression is equally satisfying because the game doesn't just give you more damage, but fundamentally changes how you interact with the carnage, allowing you to turn a basic assault rifle into a specialized tool of destruction, or upgrading your shotgun to blow back entire rows of enemies, which feels especially good when you're cornered in a narrow subway tunnel with nothing but your last few shells and a flickering bulb between you and a gruesome end. As for the lore, it's delivered with a grit and earnestness that leans into B-movie tropes without ever feeling like it's making fun of them, using stylish, hand-drawn motion comics to tell a story of government conspiracies, experimental pathogens, and a world that was rotten long before the first zombie ever stood up, all narrated by Max in a gravelly tone that makes you feel the weight of his exhaustion. The game is an indie gem because it doesn't try to be 100 hours of filler, but instead focuses on making every 10-minute stretch a memorable highlight reel of action and horror, whether you're participating in a frantic arena defense or taking control of a massive combine harvester to mow down fields of mutants in a cathartic burst of gore that provides a perfect release from the preceding tension. It's the little details that really elevate it, like the way the blood permanently stains the pavement to track your journey through a level, or the subtle industrial synth soundtrack that builds a sense of dread as you descend deeper into the city's heart, proving that a small, dedicated team can create a more cohesive and immersive experience than a massive studio if they have a clear artistic vision. Even the boss encounters feel like puzzles, where you have to balance your light usage with your ammo counts, forcing you to stay mobile and observant rather than just standing still and holding down the trigger, which keeps the gameplay loop from ever feeling stale or repetitive. It captures that elusive, just one more level feeling, because every new environment brings a different challenge, shifting from wide-open street battles where you're dodging lunging mutants to claustrophobic interior sections where the shadows themselves feel like they're closing in on you. And that variety is exactly why it stands out in such a crowded genre. Ultimately, Splatter Zombiecalypse now is a love letter to the era of gaming where personality and punchy mechanics were king, offering a dark, rainy, and incredibly violent journey that stays with you long after the final credits roll, because it treats the zombie apocalypse with the grim respect and stylistic flair it deserves, making it an essential experience for anyone who wants their shooters to have a little more soul and a lot more blood. It's a reminder that horror doesn't need to be first-person to be terrifying, and that an indie game can be a little gem simply by being unapologetically itself, focusing on the crunch of the impact and the flicker of the light to create a masterpiece of top-down carnage.
So as the rain continues to fall in Max's world and the shadows stretch out just a bit further, it's hard not to look at a game like Splatter, Zombiecalypse Now, as a poignant reminder that the best gaming experiences often come from the most unexpected, quiet corners of the industry, where the only thing that matters is the purity of the vision and the satisfying crunch of the gameplay loop. It's a title that doesn't demand your time with battle passes or daily login bonuses, but instead earns your respect by delivering a tight, atmospheric, and genuinely challenging journey through a city that feels like it's breathing its last, ragged breath right alongside you. If you've ever found yourself tired of the bloated, over-monetized landscape of modern shooters, and you just want to get back to the core of why we play games in the first place, that visceral thrill of overcoming impossible odds with nothing but a flashlight and a dream, then you owe it to yourself to dive into this blood-soaked noir nightmare and see for yourself why it remains such a towering achievement in the indie space. I really hope this deep dive gave you a sense of why this game has stuck with me for so long, and maybe even convinced you to give Max's story a chance, because developers who put this much heart into their lighting engines and destruction physics deserve every bit of the spotlight we can throw their way. If you enjoyed this trip through the rain-slicked streets and want to see more explorations of these hidden gems that the mainstream often overlooks, I'd love for you to stick around, maybe hit those buttons to help feed the ever-hungry algorithm, and join the conversation in the comments to tell me about your own favorite underrated zombie classics. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and for letting me geek out about this incredible little piece of digital carnage. But for now, keep your batteries charged, stay out of the dark, and I'll see you in the next one.